through your freedom.
You want answers?
I think I'm entitled.
You want answers?
I want the truth!
You can't handle the truth.
Pow! You can't handle the truth? That's not what I think, right? The government is Jack Nicholson telling you, you can't handle the truth. I'm telling you, we deserve the truth. It's our country. Now, if all else fails, folks, here we are, Monday. We're just starting off the week, and they're coming right at us. Be sure and share this video. It is critical. We've been talking about the collapse, the decline of the cerveza bug hysteria. The sheep over here, they get it. They've drank the Kool-Aid. Good job, sheep. Not you. You know the truth. You understand. You realize what's going on, and you're not drinking the Kool-Aid. It's failing. Even people who have drank the Kool-Aid are like, why did we drink the Kool-Aid? Even people who have drank the Kool-Aid are like, hey, things aren't what they said it is, but they're still going to drink the Kool-Aid. As far as us, nada. Zip zilch, no way did we buy that bull. So the government says, but we needed absolute and total control. SHTF, we needed that, right? And it's failed. It's failing. Will they let it go? I doubt it. They'll never let go 100%. They'll always point and go, cerveza bug, remember how bad it was? They will always want to play the epidemic, pandemic, outbreak program. They're always going to want to have that in their back pocket. And we'll talk more about that in the next video. I'm going to do two videos for you guys, as well as the end of day Q&A monologue, because it's that important to understand. They'll never give up their epidemic, pandemic. It is provided too much. But in this case, it looks like it's failing. The people they're not buying it. We're not scared enough. I guess we need to be scared more. So when all else fails, when the unicorn doesn't do it, when, oh my God, right? The Delta fails. And people are like, what else you got there to scare us? When all else fails, try SHTF old school style. You bet, folks, SHTF old school, WAR. The U.S. State Department has now issued a level 4 travel advisory. Why do they say that? It's a level 4, like we pay attention to levels like that. I mean, DEFCON 1. The reason I know DEFCON is, one, I was a jarhead, and two, right, the movie War Games with Matthew Broderick, right? DEFCON, defense condition. We're going to be in war. What's a travel level for? That's kind of like, how many fingers are they going to give you at the TSA when you try and get on a plane? 1 finger, 2 finger, or 3, right? It's a 3-finger travel advisory. It's like, children, we're staying home. Gotta love, folks, the satire. I love using cynicism, satire, and humor to offend the snowflakes. And I'm about to get to the point, the meat of the matter. And here's the meat of the matter, folks. The U.S. State Department has issued a level 4 travel advisory and has ordered family members of embassy personnel in Kiev, Ukraine. In Kiev, Ukraine, they're saying, get out, leave due to the, quote, threat of military action. They didn't even do that for the people in Afghanistan. Threat of military action, threat of, how about this, right, in Afghanistan? Threat of terrorist action. How about threat of government giving the country up to terrorists? Would have been nice to get a level 4 travel advisory there. But I digress. We're talking now about Kiev, Ukraine. Maybe General Milli Vanilli and Gigi Biden thought about it and said, you know, maybe we should tell people to leave. Or is this a way to scare us, to scare them, to scare the world? Kind of a veiled threat. Hey, we're telling our people to leave Kiev, so Russia, you better be afraid of us. Level 4 travel advisory. family members of embassy personnel, not the embassy personnel themselves, but the family members. Orders to leave, right? Threat of military action. What is going on over there, right? What is going on? Well, Joe Biden, President of the United States, is now weighing. He is weighing sending thousands of troops to Ukraine. He's thinking about it. He's considering it. He's really concerned. He's weighing it. Russia, on the other side of the border, is sending troops to the Russian side of the Ukraine border. I was talking with Chris B. Bacon, and he said, hey, they're sending equipment from across Russia. Russia is a very wide country. It's wider than the United States. The United States has a 4 time zone. I think Russia has 6. But they're sending equipment and personnel already. They're extremely serious about what is happening. If we had China, if we legitimately had China in world news open, not some secret Chinese training going on in Canada or Mexico or anything like that, but real Chinese military massing on the border of, let's say, Mexico. And we knew it. All of us knew it. All of us civilians, just little regular people knew it. We would be screaming for the government, do something, right? And we would be sending our troops there too. So here's the deal, folks. Russia is sending everything they can to the Ukraine border because it's right next to their country. See, that's the difference between us and them. In this instance, the problem is the U.S. military moving not from Western Germany, right? We got Western Germany, Eastern Germany. Then you have, Poland, and then Ukraine, and then Russia, right? There's quite a bit of real estate between West Germany and Russia. But now it's a unified Germany, and it's still a long ways away, but still. Right? The advancement of Western NATO interests towards the Russian border is what is pissing them off. If we had China and Russia and Mexico, our country, we would expect it to send troops. So Russia is extremely serious. Now imagine if Russia and China sent a couple thousand troops to our border, and we're training the Mexican army in how to, do offense, do defense, whatever the military training is. And we were like, we don't like that. Let's send the Marines and the Army to cover the border. And then we heard that Putin was weighing deploying thousands of troops, more additional troops in. What would the response be? So in this case, we have troops in there training Ukraine troops close to the border. So Russia is sending gobs of military. And then Biden says, I'm now weighing sending thousands of troops. So folks, if all else fails, try old-fashioned SHTF, war. That is exactly what they're giving us here. They've screwed up the economy. They've screwed up the monetary system. They've screwed up our infrastructure. They've let our U.S. borders remain wide open to Mexicans. But you can't have bona fide, certified, licensed truck drivers going across the border to get food and supplies for our country unless you're fully juicinated. But everyone else is allowed to cross the border, sneeze, cough, fart, give them money, and send them all over the country. But I digress. When all else fails, folks, you go to war. You try SHTF old school. And it looks like that's what this is going on. The saber rattling coming from Dementia Joe, is incredible. Imagine, folks, if Soviet Union was headed by a complete imbecile. We'd be like, that is not good. An imbecile in charge of the Russian military is threatening war? Why? Right? And I did point out both last night in the zoo, and I'll point it out again now. The United States of America is buying more Russian oil than ever before. We shut down the Canadian pipeline, folks. The Canadians were going to ship us their oil at an incredible low cost. It would have secured our country 4 years ago, 5 years ago, when Trump took office and said, hey, we're doing this. I showed the country of the United States and Canada together and said, look, pipeline from central Canada into central U.S., secured energy, protected borders. Good idea. Biden kills it day one. Thousands, hundreds of thousands of lives and jobs lost, destroyed, put on hold, back shelved. Now we're buying tons of oil from Russia. And now we're going to go to war with Russia? What is going on, folks? They need the Great Reset. They need to cause as much mayhem and SHTF as possible to scare you and I into falling in line, to accept their version of reality, what they want for us politically. It used to be our country and the government did what we needed and was best for us. Now it's about the government paying back their masters and giving their masters what they want. Mega corporations, mega banks, central banks around the world. They want, folks, a one world government, a new world order. They want their Great Reset. When all else fails, because cerveza bug wasn't what they branded it as. When all else fails, you go to war to hide your problems and to create the dynamic circumstances under which great political change can occur. And this never, folks, works out well for the people. The Great Depression in the 1930s and then World War II changed the world. Now they want to change the world and especially America. Climate change, carbon crap, global cerveza outbreak, and now the potential for war is growing. Are you prepared? Food, water, shelter, clothing, medicine, means of self-defense, and a plan. Get it together, folks. This ain't no joke. As much as I like to use humor, this is no joke. Be prepared. Don't forget that we have, if this war goes on over in Russia or on the Ukraine border or within Central Europe, it's still going to affect us here. And we have the brown shirts, the dipshit youth in America, ready to rock, ready to scream, we want our racial equity. It's unbelievable, folks. Chance favors the prepared mind. Is yours. I know that yours is. Share this video with others. The people need to wake up because it looks bad and it's going to get worse.